What's up, gamers? Welcome to Battle Mallet Podcast, episode 81, Hex Ed, Vengeful Timber. For anyone that isn't familiar, the Battle Mallet Podcast is the journey of, well, tonight it's two busy gamers playing games that they love, balancing life with those games, and making their way to and from the Nova Open Convention every year. In tonight's episode, we are going to do our review of the Spitewood Expansion set for Warhammer Underworld. So first, we want to say thank you to Games Workshop for sending us an advance copy for us to review. My name is Jerod. I'm joined tonight by Jason Table Noob Murray. Jason, how you doing?
I am fantastic. I'm ready to muddier my wood with this expansion.
Ever ready.
Ever.
And just make sure you keep that Aqua Garanus around to wash things off as needed.
You said it, not me.
Well, that's right. So so it's expansion time for Warhammer Underworlds. It's an exciting time. There's a lot of hubbub and much ado about the expansion coming out. So we thought that we would come to you with our standard review. We'll give you a rundown of any major rules changes that have come with this expansion. We're going to go through the two new warbands, the Heralds of Kurnoth and the Blood of the Bull, and then we'll do our standard Rivals review of the two new decks, Deadly Synergy and the Hunting Grounds. There's way too much for us to catch up on because it has been a really, really long time since we've recorded. So we're not going to do that this time. We'll do it next time. So anything to say before we break and cut into the content, Jason?
Yeah, so the only thing I will say is I just want to thank everyone for coming out to Nova. We hopefully will have a Nova recap episode and kind of a summer catch-up style episode, but we are learning to balance life with these games. But I wanted to take a moment just to thank everyone that came to Nova, right? It was a celebration of friendship, games, and Underworlds. So thank you all for those that made the trip, making the weekend much needed, much loved. Had a great time. So thank you. And we'll go into details later.
Well said. So we'll take a break, and when we come back, we will talk about Spitewood. And we're back, and we got a lot to unpack here, Jason.
Yeah, we do.
Literally, like a week ago, but figuratively now in this ether space of the radio waves.
Yeah, so the first ever expansion for Underworlds, right? We've had new seasons, we've had new warbands, but we've never had anything called an expansion. So I'm curious, Jerod. You have the box. What's different? So rules, is it normal? We would go into a season, it's a whole thing of rules.
Yeah, so it's actually not. So, and that was, I think, one of the more interesting things about this is that the book that comes with the box is not a full rule book. It has some lore about the setting, about the Spitewood, what's going on in the realm of Gyran. We were previously in Akshi. So, we've transitioned there. It's got the lore for the two new warbands. A good read. I suggest everybody read it to immerse yourself in what we're dealing with here. But then there's not a full rule book. So there's no instructions for how to set up the game, how to start the game, what rolling off means. There's no information about what cards are called, how to build a deck, how to play the game. None of that is in there. What is in there are the rules updates and changes that have occurred. And all things considered, the updates are pretty small for the game at large. This has been previewed on the Warhammer community site, but we'll go through it here. So there's two major updates, and that is there are now Waystone hexes on the battlefield, and these are hexes marked with a green border, and they're treated as blocked hexes for the purposes of placing feature tokens. So that just means you can't put feature tokens on it, but it's not a blocked hex. You can stand in it when you're playing the game. And then each time you make an attack roll or save roll for a friendly fighter in a Waystone hex, you can re-roll one dice in that roll. So, it's a nice little buff for being in that hex, which is pretty cool. And then the way that the boards are set up is one battlefield has two Waystone hexes and two stagger hexes. And then one battlefield has four Waystone hexes and one stagger hex. So some interesting options there. All of the Waystone hexes are adjacent to at least one starting hex. So, it gives you a good place to dive in or a good place to move to stand in to be a little bit more secure. So that's the big change there. And then we get to place new feature tokens. So it's kind of like going back to the days of yesteryear when we got to place snare hexes and lethal cover hexes, all of the different extra feature tokens that we got to place. And these are the Aqua Garanis. Again, been revealed in detail on the Warhammer community site, but you place these after treasure tokens have been placed. And then the big deal here is that in the end phase, after both players have followed the end phase sequence, so after you've scored all of your cards, resolved all of those effects, if a friendly fighter is on an Aqua Garanis feature token in enemy territory, you heal that fighter and you score 1 glory point.
Wait, glory point?
1 glory point.
That's pretty sweet. So like almost like a capture the flag or an active objective. Like that's cool. I like that.
Yeah, I like it too, and it I think that it might help. Not that aggro decks need the help. Not that aggro playstyle really needs the help right now. But as we'll talk about, I think that it builds a mechanic into the game that encourages interaction with the two new decks that appear to be a little bit more counter punchy. So, you can deny your opponents scoring by not going into their territory, but now you have like a decent reason to go in.
Yeah. So, start of the game, like let's just say like you place first token, I place second token, still in neutral territory.
Yeah, right. So there's no rules updates on feature token placement. So we're on the errata for the core rules. So all of that.
But then you'll place the third one. I'll place the fourth one. Then you go back and fifth one, and then you place the first one of these.
That's right. So the player who placed the last feature token places 1 Aqua Garanis feature token in an empty hex in friendly territory. That is not a starting hex, a blocked hex, a stagger hex, an edge hex, or a hex that already contains a feature token.
Cool.
So, yeah. So it could be right next to a feature token, like a treasure token, because it doesn't have that, more than 2 away restriction.
But it can be anywhere, like
anywhere that is not a starting
not
hex,
those.
a block hex,
Like
a stagger
what
hex.
I mean by that, there's no territory defined. It doesn't have to be.
Oh, in friendly territory.
In friendly territory.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you could pump it in the back. You could put it all the way up front if you wanted to. You could put it in the middle.
Or you could put it in this nice spot to just attract the enemies in.
That's
like,
right. Yeah.
Right
yeah.
here,
Just close enough maybe to be like, hey, look at this. You could get an extra glory point if you're standing here in the end phase. Could be yours. Put it right next to a Waystone hex so you get to reroll all of your attack dice when they're standing on it.
That's I'm interested to see how that plays out. Very, very cool. Now this realm, because I'm not gonna be able to say its name.
Gairan.
What's cool about Gairan? Do you know the lore?
Yeah, so I mean, I haven't read through the full thing, so I'm not totally versed on the Spitewood, but the realm of Gairan is the realm of life. And so this is where the Sylvaneth live. This is Alariel's realm. So the city of Hammerfall, which is like the largest city in Age of Sigmar, half of it is in Akshi and half of it is in Gairan. And so they feed each other. So like you get weapons and armament and fuel and things from Akshi, the realm of fire, but then they get all of their like water and food and plant materials and things like that from the realm of life. So it's a really cool city. I recommend reading about it if you're interested in the lore of Age of Sigmar at all. There's tons of content out there around it. So, but we're like full on in like lush green forest, life abundance, little spites flittering around. Yothari's Guardians will be right at home here, which is exciting.
That's cool. It's always cool when we update realms or change realms, and just to see the game grow from being in a mirrored city to the realm of life.
That's right. That's good stuff. So,
Well, cool.
um,
So, I mean, like, we might as well just start with the Warband then, if there's no other expansion
yeah,
updates. Like,
nope,
really cool. So, Kurnoth's Heralds, or how I will refer to them as Sweet Tooth's Warband.
Sweet Tooth
Um,
Warband. You are you gonna when you get them? Are you gonna clip one of the horns off?
yes. Yep. Mhm. And I'm going to put a big guy next to him.
Yep.
Big man. So anyway, 3-fighter warband, lots of speed, fantastic models. These models look just
Oh, they're
epic
so
and
good.
awesome. Another keynote: all 3 fighters have 5 wounds, which is really cool. The leader gives up 3 glory, and then it's 2 and 2. Attack profiles are pretty standard. Like, there's a 2 range melee attack. One of them has a bow, so there's a 3 range attack. Crit Grievous on your leader right away. But where they get really spicy is when they inspire, and their attacks are just super accurate. Like, all 3 of them have 3 hammer attack of some sort.
Yep.
Just straight Grievous on your leader. Grapple, stagger, cleave on other fighters, 4 dice on their other attack. So all of them have a 4 sword
Yeah.
attack for a single damage. Just really, really cool. But the Inspire is a little different. So after an action step, if a friendly fighter began the action step in friendly territory and they made a successful attack, inspire that fighter. So only in your territory and a successful attack. 4 swords should hopefully land, but it's just 1 damage. But the key there is, like, it has to start, or has to be in friendly territory, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
They
So the action
begin,
has to begin in friendly territory. So
yeah.
you could start in friendly territory and then charge
But if I
out of friendly
miss,
territory.
then
If you miss, well, then
yeah,
you're
I got to run
you got
back and
push
run
back
back
or something. Yeah.
again.
Yeah. Right.
um, so they are Swift Sentinels. While they're in friendly territory, friendly fighters have fly rune mark and cannot be flanked. So they really like to live in their own woods.
Yep.
And then they have 3 abilities that can be used once per game. The Endless Hunt. Use this immediately after a friendly fighter has attacked. You can push that attacker up to 2 hexes. That one could be big. That could be your, I've charged in. Let me suck them back into my territory because I need to get, where I can't be flanked, or I need to reset and try again because I failed an attack. Also, go in, punch somebody, get back out of dodge. Very useful ability there. And then there is one for our bow stag, right? So use this immediately after a friendly Lenwith.
Yeah. That seems good.
Sure. Range attack. That fighter attacks again with the same weapon. The target of that attack must be different to the target of the first attack, and you can only use this ability once per game. So always cool to get free attacks. If they are inspired, that's a 3 hammer single damage attack. But wow, cool. Get the plink, 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 plink.
Yeah.
And then Herald's Pride uses immediately after you pick a weapon as part of your leader's attack. That weapon has cleave and ensnare for that attack. You can only use this ability once per game. So remember that one of their attacks already has Crit Grievous or Grievous. So you will have to pick like Grievous, Cleave, or Ensnare, or on the other one, Grapple and Cleave and Ensnare. So, but utility is fantastic. So pretty straightforward warband card with some play. But again, I think these models stand on their own. 5 wounds, leaders on 1 shield, the other 2 are on 1 dodge. So a little bit not the greatest defensive characteristics, but speed, attack, yes, please.
Yeah. Yeah, and they stay on 1 defense dice. So I think that's like probably going to be the hardest part to play around with this warband. Um, is you're going to want heal cards, I would imagine, in whatever you're playing with. Like they have reason to go after that Aqua Granis feature token because that 1 extra pip of health after an end phase might be the difference between getting 1 shot the next turn or not.
Yeah.
So
my mind just totally just went on like a crazy adventure into La La Land because I was like, man, it stinks that Skaith's isn't in the game, but it's awesome that we now have 4 Sweet Tooths. And they've been putting Underworld's warbands into spearheads, and I'm like, man, this would those two combined with some other sort of
that's true. Yeah,
entities.
like if they put this warband and then Skate's Wild Hunt in a box with a spearhead, I don't know.
Yeah,
Is there a full Kurnothi army release coming for Age of Sigmar?
we've been saying that for like
Well,
5 years.
yes, since Skate's Wild Hunt came out. But yeah,
it would be cool because that leads us to the other warband that is in this box, and I am super excited just because it's very timely. Like we often get new models and factions, but the fact that this is on the heels of a bigger release or with a bigger release,
yeah,
of what?
Of the so the Blood of the Bull, they are what are they? The Helms of Hashut, I believe is the actual faction name. But they are
Yeah, no,
fully qualified as Chaos Duarden. That is their rune mark on their thing. So this is the Blood of the Bull, and so the leader. We'll dig into the lore here a little bit. I mean the Heralds of Kurnoth. It makes sense. They're in Ghyran. It's their realm. But Moraduk was fighting in Ghyran. She wanted to strip the realm of its resources. And then she got really mad because her entire army was wiped out because the Kurnothi did not fight fair, and they attacked her army at night while they were sleeping. And so now her whole goal is to like burn down the entire Kurnothiel, which is like some segment of the of Ghyran. And so there is something in the heart of the Spitewood that rumor has it if you burn that down, then the whole forest is going to wither and die. And so that's like their whole goal. So anyway, so this is a 5-fighter warband. They are Chaos Duarden, 4 Chaos Duarden, and a Hobgrot, I think. Yeah, so they're all move 3. And then they've got some pretty split profiles. So the leader, and I got the leader's name wrong. I was looking at the wrong card. Zoldraka is the leader. She's on 4 health. Then there are 2 3 health fighters, 3 3 health fighters, and a 2 health fighter. So the Hobgrot has 2 health. And then they've got a pretty decent mix of attack profiles, mostly focused on the melee. There is Tokgor, who's got some kind of wicked smoking gun. I don't know, flamethrower. I don't know what that is.
It's like a poison cannon or something.
Yeah, I don't know. It looks awesome. He's burned, so like I'm thinking it's a flamethrower. He's got some scarring on his face. But decent bounty spread. And then when they inspire, they just get more accurate. So and more defensive, it appears. Yep. So they all go to 2 dodge dice or 2 defense dice when they inspire, and they all get more accurate. Everybody's got a weapon ability to either stagger or do some grievous. So, I mean, they seem pretty fighty. And then, with the health spread of 4, 3, 3, 3, 2, like I think they've got some staying power.
Yeah, it's a pretty like Underworld's 2.0 traditional 5-fighter warband, right? Like
right.
They pretty solid stats. To your point, the glory being spread correctly over the 5 fighters is good.
Yeah, we don't have a tunnel pack situation.
No.
Again, poor Zicket. Is he really worth 3 bounty?
Yeah, he
Um,
is.
but anyway, so I think the most interesting thing about them, though, is their War Scroll card. Because this is, again, we're in 2.0, so they're introducing all of these new mechanics. So we'll just start at the top and we'll run through it. So they inspire when you use a Demon Forge dice in an attack roll or save roll for a friendly fighter. After that attack roll, inspire that fighter. Or after an attack made by a friendly Chaos Dwarden, so there is a rune mark. If the target was adjacent to a friendly Grisk, inspire that Grisk. So you either use a Demon Forge dice, or if Grisk was supporting, flanking for an attack, then Grisk will inspire. So, what are these Demon Forge dice? Empowered by Spite, as Eldraka and her warriors kill, burn, and despoil, their demon-crafted arms and armor grow ever more powerful. So you start the game with 1 Demon Forge dice. In your power step, if a friendly fighter with no stagger tokens delves a treasure token, gain 1 Demon Forge dice. All Demon Forge dice are lost at the end of each battle round. So you start the game with 1, and then every time you delve a treasure token into a cover hex, you gain 1 Demon Forge dice. And then there are 2 surge abilities. There's 1, Enhance Arsenal. Immediately after you pick a weapon as a part of an attack made by a friendly Chaos Warden, you can use 1 Demon Forge dice in the attack roll. If you do so, that weapon has +1 attack dice for that attack. And then you have Reinforce Armory. Immediately after a friendly Chaos Warden is picked to be the target of an attack, you can use 1 Demon Forge dice in the save roll. If you do so, that fighter has +1 save for that attack. So that seems really good. So you're going to get a Keen Eye, or I can't remember. There are so many +1 save upgrades in the game now. You get one of those per game minimum for no bounty, no glory cost. And then every time you delve, you get another one of those. So, that seems pretty good. And then you just use those, and then you're inspired. So now you're more accurate and you have more defense dice. And then you could still use those. So you could be like on 3 defense if you really wanted, or be rolling 4 hammers for a lot of these attacks.
Yeah, the three defense dice, especially when they're inspired on shields, like, whew.
Yeah.
It's good stuff.
Yep. But it doesn't stop there. So, Takor's Flame Hurler spits sentient fire that sticks to flesh and disintegrates the soul. A friendly Takor's ranged weapons, excluding upgrades, have Grievous if the target is adjacent. So this reminds me of Bridget's gun from 1.0. So if the fire dude is next to you, his ranged attack does 2 damage. And when he's inspired, now he's 3 hammers for 2 damage. It's capped, but it gains Grievous, which is pretty good. And then we also have a Hobgrot Cunning. So Grisk might be a conniving, murderous backstabber, but he has his uses. Rolls of both swords and hammers are successes in an attack roll for a friendly Chaos Warden, while the target is adjacent to a friendly Grisk. That's pretty good.
That is really good. I mean, because he is on 2 dodge, he is 2 wounds, so he may fold quickly.
Yeah.
And it does take some setup, but yeah, there's some really good. There's just cool things in there, right? Like, so
Yeah.
I like that they are dwarfs, and I don't know anything about chaos dwarfs, right? So just for our listeners, like, I am just looking at this going, I think I know, but dwarfs want to be on treasure, and it's cool that they're getting rewarded for, lack of better word, looting that treasure, right? Like delving it away, stealing the treasure. So they get that reward. They hit fairly well, and there's some cool little tricks in there. I really do like that. The flamer, or whatever that spitting acid thing is, it's cool. Like 2 damage up close. Hopefully I don't miss. And,
Yeah, right.
Anytime the Gribblies help is good.
I was going to say, if Grisk is next to it, then your accuracy is up significantly.
Yeah.
So
I'll still miss. Don't worry.
just don't burn Grisk, I guess.
Yeah, because I
Um,
mean, it really is. It's like it's the best accuracy we've ever seen. Like you double, so swords and hammers, plus you're getting the flanked.
yeah,
So
that's true. Yeah, everything. Yeah, it's pretty good. Everything but surroundeds miss hit, and you'll proceed to roll 3 dice and roll 3 surroundeds.
yeah, that's very very true. Well, good.
Yep.
That's the warbands.
Yep.
Um, just from a model standpoint, like, are they cool? Have you put them together yet?
Yeah. So I've got the Kurnoth together, and they're cool. I mean, it's literally 3 skates.
Yeah,
So it's a little bit more dynamic. So they've gotten a little bit better, I think, at being able to balance and position that physique, I guess, the sculptors. The axe for the big guy, like it's pretty baller. And he's got moose horns instead of deer antlers, which is really cool. Um, but they seem good. And then and it's, I mean, as soon as I see it, it's obvious, but I didn't really see it until I got a hold of the sprues. Is Imnidrin, the one of the Chaos Dwarden? He's got like a spear, but he's also bearing a banner.
mm-hmm.
So like there's a banner on his spear, and he's the other 2 bounty fighter. So that's like a cool little thematic. Like you get 2 bounty for taking out the leader, and then 2 bounty for taking out the banner bearer. So it's like a, denoting the importance of the character.
Yeah, that is. I mean, that is cool. I'm beyond, like, I don't know if I like the aesthetic of the Chaos Dwarves, so I was hoping that
Yeah.
when we get them in hand, that they are cool.
Yeah, I mean, so they feel very old world in in their design space. So like the dwarves that we know in Age of Sigmar are naked dwarves that have pounded gold into their arms, right? So it's a lot of flesh, a lot of dynamic movement. Like if you think about the chosen axes, right? Like there's a lot of dynamics there. Or they're in like full like vacuum suits because they're skybound and floating around and shooting guns.
Yeah.
And these look more like traditional dwarves in that they've got the same stocky physique, but they're also covered in this heavy armor. So they're just like blocks of figures. And it looks really good, but it's not like the dynamics are not there. It's actually a really interesting dichotomy of aesthetic in this box, that you have these very like lithe, dynamic Kurnothi, and then these very like blocky, stoic Chaos Dwarden. So I don't know. I think it'll be cool to see them on the table. I'm excited to see what other people are able to do with them. I like that. They've kind of given us some new design space with both of them. Really hammering in on staying in friendly territory with the Kurnothi, and then this like Demon Forged Dice mechanic, which seems really strong. I think I'm hopeful that the health characteristics maybe keep it from being too strong, right? Like you wouldn't want to see Demon Forged Dice on the Jaws of Itzel or on Drom or something, where you've got these big beefy 5 wound fighters that take probably 3 hits to take down.
No.
So,
Yeah. No. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah.
I'm excited to try it. So with that's the box, the warbands. We want to take a break and come back and talk about the cards. And we're back, and we're ready to talk about the first of 2 Rivals decks that come in this expansion of Underworlds.
Did you forget what we were talking about there for a second, Jason?
For a second, I was too busy reading this card right here. So, Deadly Synergy is the first deck. While using this Rivals deck, adjacent friendly fighters are united. That's right. It has a plot card. Enemy fighters are adjacent to a united friendly fighter are flanked if each other friendly fighter is slain, the remaining friendly fighter is united. So let's break that down. Stand next to your friends,
You're
unite your
united.
hands, so you become one. But then the way that that works is anyone that's touching me or touching them is flanked, right? So
Right.
um, that's pretty cool. It's kind of like tag team flanked through your friends.
Yeah.
And then I do like that they've written in here that if all the other fighters are done, KIA, you still can be united. And that may help with how united these objectives are. So,
Yeah. Maybe.
so our normal breakdown, the top 3 objectives that we're looking for in our opening hand if we are playing a rivals deck. Jerod, you want to start?
Yeah, so I think we're going to start with Got Your Back, and this is score this immediately after an enemy fighter's failed attack if the target was a united friendly fighter. I think you're going to be doing whatever you can to either start your warband in a united state, not the United States, although I guess maybe a lot of our players will be there, um, but starting with your friendly fighters adjacent so that they qualify as united, and then I know it's not the best for your opponent, but like nothing feels better than scoring glory off of your opponent's failure, right? So like, and yeah, if you are united and they're coming in to do an attack and they're adjacent, then you're flanked. So like your chances of blocking go up a little bit. So it's a good one to have early. Um, just because I
Yeah.
think you're more likely to be united early, and you want to get this one early. It's probably one of the easiest ones to score.
We want it early.
Yes, said that like 6 times. Just to be clear.
Just to be clear, well, let me give you some helping hands. Okay,
Thanks.
so the next objective we're looking for is helping hand. Score this immediately after a united friendly fighter's successful attack if the attack roll contained any flanked. So again, that's kind of like they go hand in hand. Eh? Eh?
I got you.
Hopefully they came in, missed an attack, and then you can poke back, getting those flanks through the united fighter and double up and score 2 glory and hopefully land an attack because you need it to score the objective. But you can already see the theme of this deck is united. We've had to pick 2 surges that trigger off that united keyword. And then the last one for a end phase scoring, what do we got?
Yeah, so this is going to be a beatdown. So beatdown is the objective. Score this in an end phase if the same enemy fighter was picked to be the target of 3 or more different friendly fighters' melee attacks this battle round. Does not require united, so that's nice. And then based on kind of our read of the deck, you're probably going to be in a multiple fighter or low damage warband anyway. So might as well just pile all of your attacks on to the same fighter.
Is this different than a takedown?
I think it is different than a takedown.
No. Takedown. Sorry. Anyway, yeah, one glory. I think you are right. I think that you probably are going to have to really focus your fire anyway, given some of the warbands that will leverage this deck. But those are the 3 objectives that we would like to start and get that glory train rolling right into our ploys. So the first ploy that I'm looking for is Army of 2. Pick a friendly fighter. That fighter is united in the next turn. Great utility because it could be used on the defensive side. Like I know you're coming in, I know you're going to attack, so I want to make sure that I'm flanked. But more importantly, it can trigger one of my objectives, and I might not have great positioning state, whether I'm attacking and or defending, and this can help get that triggered to start the glory train.
Yep. And then I think something else that might help start the glory train is out of nowhere. So play this immediately after you make an attack roll with a united friendly fighter. Change one dice in that attack roll to a flanked or surrounded.
Ooh,
So
that could
if you,
really help score helping hand.
it really could help you score helping hand.
Yeah,
It could.
those two combined
Yep.
for the army of two. And then our last ploy, out of nowhere, wouldn't be an episode if we didn't select sidestep.
That's
And
right.
that might just be the easy pick for us, but you if you don't have um movement shenanigans in your warband, like uh you need sidestep. You need a way to push your fighters to set them up in a position to be able to be united to trigger everything else that's going on for this deck. So I know that we pick it a lot. It is a super useful card appearing in a lot of the Nemesis decks, but it's really vital here.
Yep.
So
So I am going to go rogue because there's one card that I do want to talk about. And I don't know how useful it will be early, but maybe. So this is Brother in Arms. It's a Surge ploy. Play this immediately before you pick a melee weapon as a part of a united friendly fighter's attack. Pick a united friendly fighter adjacent to the attacker. Use one of that fighter's melee weapons for that attack instead. So you could have the little Venomites using Crojax's giant club thing as
you
that
could.
melee weapon. So like it gives you an opportunity to take a Gribbly and he's just going to borrow the big weapon. So like the Bat Squig could come in and use Molog's giant club. So I think that might be the coolest card in this deck, but
yeah, Mortex using
Kanan's axe. Yeah.
It definitely is a very, very cool card. Great call out. Again, the positioning though to get it all to work out. So, and again, that trigger with United Fighters, which leads me to the upgrades, and I'm just going right for the number one upgrade in the whole deck, right? Titan of Combat, one glory, equip it. This fighter is united.
The end.
And yeah, the end. And this is the card I want in my opening hand.
Yeah.
Out of anything else, because it just allows you to be so much more efficient with everything else, whether it's an objective, whether it is a ploy, an upgrade. I want this. I want to put this on whatever fighter I need to leverage to make attacks.
Yep. Yeah. No, I mean, no arguments there. So I think the next one that you probably want early, because I think it's going to help you either counter position or counter punch better. Doesn't really fully go into the United thing, but it's Battering Ram. Attack rolls made for this fighter as part of melee attacks always count as having more crits than the save roll for the purposes of drive back and overrun. So you have an opportunity to always drive back. Like even if you completely fail an attack, not just a tie, but like your opponent rolls more successes than you. Even if the physical roll, they have more crits, you always count as having more crits. So like you could completely whiff your attack. Your opponent could roll 2 crits. If you got Battering Ram on, you still get to drive back and overrun. But it may turn out to be just a drive back situation, right? Get somebody out of your face, set it up so that you're 1 hex away. Somebody else can come in and charge later, get that united trigger, or do whatever. But I don't think we've seen a mechanic like that in the game.
We have not, and I would just would have loved this card to say this, like, you have drive back and overrun. Like, I don't know why we put you have more crits, but it's okay. It's not that big of a deal. I do think I love this card. I think it's gonna be super cool, and it that is part of the game. When you need it, right? It's like, oh, I really, really want this crit, and then it always doesn't pan out, at least for me. So it'd be really nice to have that for drive backs and overruns. And then the last card is tried and true as well, and that is Duelist. So Surge Footwork. Immediately after this fighter has attacked, you may push this fighter 1 hex. You can see that we're really leaning into kind of repositioning movement style of shenanigans and complementary items to leverage getting next to our friends, so we become united, and that's where the deck kind of lives. So those are our picks. Jerod, it's what play style? This is aggro, right? It's just
Oh yeah,
go.
no, it's totally just pure aggro. It's definitely not mastery at all. Yeah, like just the fact that you're scoring um, is so different. Like there's so many requirements. It feels aggressive because you need successful attack actions, but it is much more about being united when you do things or when things happen to you than it is anything else, which is not in the realm of stand on this feature token or take out your opponent. So 100% mastery.
Yeah, which means that it is probably going to be a bronze for new player rating. And then when you're picking your board, we recommend the new board with the stagger in the middle.
Yeah. There's so many adjacent starting hexes on that board that I don't think it matters which setup you get for that. It's going to set you up to have united fighters early.
Right out the jump.
Yep.
What about Nemesis pairings?
Yeah, so I think it feels like the tech wants you to go into like a counter punch mode, right? So you live in this united state where you've got a bunch of fighters that are well positioned in the right place, but for that to work out well for you, you need your opponent to come to you, and so that's where we think maybe Emberstone or Pillage come into play because it's going to give you some scoring options that your opponent has to interact with you in order to stop. If you could use 2 plot cards, I think Countdown would be great, but can't use 2 plot cards. Like that's immediately where my mind goes anytime I want passive scoring.
Yeah, right.
And oh wait, I can't do that because the Countdown has a plot card and Deadly Synergy has a plot card. But any of the other things, I think even Rack has got some stuff in there where it's some non-interactive scoring where your opponent is going to have to come in and disrupt things, and that forces them into your territory, which gives you more chances to be united, make those attacks, and get things to work there.
Yeah, my mind first went right to Emberstone. Like I want to set up and just kind of take and hold and let you come, shock. I like the counterplay style
Yeah,
of this game, but you come in, make your attacks, and hopefully I can capitalize off of that within my own territory. And that kind of puts us to, what warbands and anything that has efficient movement.
yeah,
So, the first one is, oh, look, it's Gits. Yay. Gits get to be played
good
again.
again. Yeah,
um, but Sepulchral Guard, the new the re-imaged Exiled Dead,
yeah. Borget Speed Scrabbas.
yeah, Borgin Speed Scrabbers, anyone that has that efficiency when it comes to move or pushing, getting things close together. Hexbanes probably plays pretty well with this, with their movement style. So there is some play here, but you definitely need to set it up. That's why we're giving it the bronze. Any other comments on Deadly Synergy?
No, nothing for me.
Yeah,
So,
me either. So let's just move on to
moving
hunting
on to the
ground.
hunting grounds, which is much more my play style. Anyway, this deck is it seems like it is a place that wants you to stay in friendly territory, and I just go back to my fearsome fortress with Velmorn days. That's immediately where my brain goes back to. So I'm excited about it. So the first objective that we think that you want to see in the hunting grounds is home advantage. So this is score this immediately after an enemy fighter's failed attack if the target was a friendly fighter in friendly territory. Noticing a theme here from the objectives that I'm picking. Let's just capitalize off of my opponent's failures. Yeah, and you want this one early because you start in friendly territory. So you may have to go out later, and now this is a dead card. But what else do
Yeah,
we
it's
want?
just like, I mean, the first objective here, hunting grounds, the last deck, the Inspire, the Kurnothi, man, everybody just wants to live in their own territory. So good thing we have those like glory incentives to get into enemy territory.
That's right.
Because really, you have no business here, and that's the next objective I'm taking. Score this immediately after a friendly fighter's attack if the target was in friendly territory and was flanked and or surrounded. So friendly fighter attack if the target was in friendly territory and flanked and surrounded, which means that you have a friendly fighter with them, or you have a united card.
Ooh, spicy.
That's a surge for 1 glory. So
Yeah. So, and just auditory, theme here. This is our turf, right? Home advantage. You've got no business here. This is our turf. This is the end phase objective that we think you want to see early. Score this in an end phase. If there are more friendly fighters with move and or charge tokens in friendly territory, then there are enemy fighters with move and or charge tokens in friendly territory. So it's only 1 glory, and I think you want this early, because either you're going to catch your opponent off guard, or like you're going to bait your opponent into trying to stop you from scoring this, which means that you're going to be able to do all of the other things that you want to do that involve you staying in your territory. So
yeah,
that's
and I mean, playing this deck, the fight's probably going to come to you. Like, you're probably not going to be eager to go into the other person's territory. So not having all their fighters in your territory turn 1 will make it a little easier too. So
Yep.
Yeah, so on to
the ploys.
the ploys. Well, we're on theme, if for nothing else, because we're going to deny the invaders. In the next turn, friendly fighters' weapons have 1 attack plus 1 attack dice while they're in friendly territory. Oh, plus 1 attack.
Nice. A little keen eye there.
Yeah, right. Yeah, except in employee form, and I give my my dwarf extra die too. Man,
Oh my gosh.
I'm all.
Never missing. All right. So the next ploy that we think that you want to see early is Mind Your Step. And this one's it's situational but very powerful. So pick an enemy fighter in friendly territory. Push that fighter up to 2 hexes. That push must end in neutral or enemy territory. Like, I mean, you can yeet somebody just right the heck out if needed.
Yeah, it could help you score by getting more move or charge tokens in friendly territory. And the reason we want it early is we don't want them deep, right? Like,
Yeah, you're not going to be able to use it if they're being really invasive.
Yeah, normally their first couple of charges are going to be where they can still be pushed into neutral territory. So really cool to get that one going early. And then last but not least is Paths Unknown.
Paths Unknown.
Too bad I can't. Oh, there it is. Got it. Paths Unknown. I couldn't find it. Pick a friendly fighter in friendly territory. If you are the underdog, you can pick a friendly fighter in enemy territory instead. In the next turn, that fighter cannot be picked to be the target of an attack. Yeah, like, it's, the charge is coming. You know that they need this to score. No, we've seen these in the past. This is like a little more. There's a little more situational because you're picking a fighter, or you're not just denying damage like some other of these cards have. But they're always powerful when they go off, and if you happen to go across for whatever reason and you're the underdog, you can pick somebody that is already vulnerable over in the other area. That's just key. It could really swing scoring at the end of a round.
Yeah, it's a pretty potent denial card, to be sure. So, on to the upgrades. The first upgrade that we think you want to see is the Balance of Gyran. This has a surge ability, Equilibrium, immediately after an enemy fighter's successful attack. If this fighter was the target of that attack, and the attacker is within 3 hexes of them, roll 3 attack dice. If the roll contains any swords, inflict 1 damage on the attacker. So we think you want this early because it's going to give you the most opportunities to use it, and you probably want to stack it onto a beefy fighter. Because it only triggers when enemy fighters' attack was successful, but it could also be a deterrent, right? Like, oh, do I really want to go in and swing and possibly take a pip of damage?
Yeah, that's cool. Next is the Bounty of Gurhan. So this fighter is inspired while they are in friendly territory. Immediately after your next action step, uninspire this fighter and discard this card. Wow, it's been a long time since we got a card that could just instantly inspire somebody. And what I love about this is you can still inspire after the card comes off. So if you achieve your inspire kind of qualifications, but super potent to get some fighters that one activation of being inspired. Super cool, and it doesn't cost a lot. It is just one glory, one bounty to equip it.
Yeah, and you only uninspire after your next action step. So like you could put it on after, like in your power step.
Yep.
So now you're inspired for your opponent's action step, and then inspired for your action step as well. So pretty good. And then the last one that we want to see is Killing Blow, because we would be remiss if we didn't pick something that had Grievous on it. So this fighter's melee weapons have Grievous if the target is damaged. So seems pretty good.
More importantly, this card has a picture and there's like a little waterfall shrine behind it. Any idea where that comes from? Because it's pretty cool. I like
Actually,
it.
I don't know where that comes from. Huh.
Yeah, I don't know.
Some listener right now, one of our tens of listeners, is screaming at us, telling us exactly where it comes from.
I don't know. It's pretty. It's really cool looking, and a lot of the artwork on here. So, you know, the cards still have the pictures for artwork, but they seem different. They seem like there's more background, there's more moss, and just life in the background of the pictures, not so much blurred or smoke. Even, you know, this one, there's a weapon upgrade called Hidden Traps, and it's just like a cool little pit of spikes, and I like it. I still miss the original artwork, but these pictures are they're getting
We're
it.
getting there. We're getting there. So, Jason, I'm going to let you answer this question because I think you've got the answers. What are we going to call this play style?
It's gonna be passive aggressive.
Passive aggressive. That counterpunch, though.
Yeah, just similar to the last deck, but I like this one a lot more. I want you to come to me, and then I'm gonna make you pay to come to me.
That's right.
And I really like that.
Yeah. So, and then, you know, for boards, you want to do everything that you can to force your opponent to come to you. So, however possible, you want to stack feature tokens on your side, because most warbands, most decks are dealing with feature tokens, or you're gonna goad your opponent into thinking that you need those. So, they're gonna come in to try to get on them before you, or get you off of them, or whatever. So
yeah, and for warbands with it, I think something with range is good. Like, I just want to be able to attack and, you know, not allow you to sit back, because with both the decks, that's kind of my fear, is like, if there's no reason for you to come over, can you just passively outscore me in the other area? I still want to be able to touch you, so I would like range. You know, I think Thundrix, although they are a larger warband, I think they could do it. Emberwatch, not really. Zendire's Truth Seekers, though. I mean, I don't think they could do it. So
yeah, just the one range fighter.
Just the one range
unfortunately. Fighter. Yeah. Yothari, you got 2 range fighters in that warband. So, and then outside of range, you know, I think you probably want to stick to 4 fighters or less. I think Thundrick might be the exception, but I think when you start getting large, you know, you're getting picked off too easy. You know, your stats aren't necessarily as good to be able to stick around and have multiple fighters alive in friendly territory to score the things you need to score. as far as new player rate is concerned, I think we call this silver. So it seems fairly straightforward. I think that a lot of your success is dependent on your opponent's behavior. And so that kind of keeps it from being in the gold territory that like Blazing Assault is, as far as ease of play and flow of the deck is concerned. So what are you thinking about for pairings, Jason?
I think out of the box, like you can do synergy with it.
Yeah.
They both have the same style, like where we want them to come and invade us and to counterpunch them. So I would start there if you're picking up the expansion, but then I'm right back to Emberstone and Pillage, right? Like if I'm playing a counter punch deck, I want to be scoring some glory on my side of the board, which makes my opponent have to come over and stop me from doing that.
Yep. And that's where I'm going to go to Countdown, because now it is possible, because Hunting Grounds does not have a flop card. So, and then what I'm really excited about is how wrong we're going to be. And like the community is just going to like figure this out and completely blow our minds, and it's going to be awesome.
Yeah, I can't wait to see it. It is going to be awesome. I think out of the whole box, I mean, the Kurnothi are kind of the thing that I'm most excited for. The decks are good, decent, I should say. It is cool to get some new play styles, some new cards, some new tricks. But that Warband just stands out as kind of the gem of the box for me.
Nice. Well, that'll wrap up this review. So we'll take a break and come back to wrap up the show. And we're back, and that will wrap up the 81st episode of the Battle Mallet podcast. Again, we want to say thanks to Games Workshop for sending us an advance copy for review. If you want to find us on the socials, we are Battle Mallet HQ on X, Instagram, and Blue Sky. We are Battle Mallet Podcast on Facebook. Website is battle-mallet.com. As per usual, we appreciate any likes, subscribes, shares that you can give us. Keep an ear out for potential future episodes. Jason teased we need to do a Nova recap. That needs to come out soon. Life has been crazy all around for the podcast lately. The one thing that I do want to say about the new Warbands coming out is that this release is like the greatest hits of Jerod v. Jason.
Yes.
In the midst of and coming out of COVID. Like Zandire. Yeah, what did I like main out of all this, right? So Zandire, I got my first glass with Sarkar. What is the name of that warband?
Gnarl Spirit Pack.
The Gnarl Spirit Pack. Rocked Velmorn for forever. Rocked oh my gosh, what's the Nurgle one? I cannot remember their name anymore.
Wormspat.
The Wormspat. Gosh, yeah. So did that for forever. And then Jason, you were rocking the Shadow Elves. You rocked Elethane Soul Raid for a little while. You were rocking the Starblood Stalkers for a little while. Did some play with the Thricefold for a minute?
Yeah, before they became popular. Yeah, but you are not wrong. Like so it was really exciting when we got the first kind of wave of redos. But looking at those warbands, like I was super excited. I've definitely played, a number of them. But there are a lot in here that I'm excited for, and really it's just Scathe. I mean, not Scathe.
Slathael?
No, it's Scathe. No,
it's Scathe. Okay, it's Scathe now.
I'm still on the Kurnothi. Like that is my big takeaway. But the Shadeborn for certain. I loved the Shadeborn models. I loved their playstyle back then. looking at them, and maybe we'll do an episode to go in depth, but definitely some spicy stuff on their card, and they just kind of retain that play style. Starblood Stalkers love those models. They're right there. And Rippas is one of the warbands that I've never had on the table, and I absolutely love my models. I've just never played them, so super excited to get them back out there. But I mean, heck, in COVID, for my 40th birthday, I played Rothgorn, freezing in the garage because
that's right.
6 feet apart. It was like the first time we were all together, so excited to get them back as well.
Yeah, I think my hottest take is Mr. Odipodle, 0 bounty.
I mean, that's just not right.
I know. It's rough. It's rough for a chameleon out here.
It is, especially for one that can shoot 3 hexes away and move 5. But yet, when you kill him, you get nothing.
You get nothing. Good day. All right. So I think that'll wrap us up. So for the Battle Mallet podcast, I am a Chaos Warden.
I'm Sweet Tooth.
This is Jerod signing out.
And I'm Jason Tabledew Murray. Get the hell out of here.
Peace.
Go Bills.
The Battle Mallet podcast is protected under the Creative Commons license. If you have further questions as to its use, you can find more information via links on podcast.battle-mallet.com. Music by Anno Domini Beats. What was yours? In spite of my wood?
In spite of my wood.
It's a little on the nose, Jason.